Temperatures have been below average for the month of April and so far May as well. But May has been quite a wet month, and that is not great news for crops. Let's get out to Fox 12's Paulina Aguilar. She spoke with some farmers to see how this wet weather is impacting their farms. Paulina?
Well, Bonnie, rain over the past month and a half has really slowed down the ability to plant and grow crops. Take a look at the farm behind me at Furrow Farms, where Christmas trees are growing. These trees should have been planted way back in March, and these were just done last week.
You get what you get. There's nothing we can really do when the weather's like this.
Portland has yet to meet its average rainfall, though May has been quite a wet month, which has delayed the ability to grow and plant crops, like Christmas trees at Furrow Farms.
The soil's very muddy and it's like Play-Doh. For planting, you want the soil to flow, be more like, you want it to be more a flowing soil so it flows in around the trees as they go through the tree planter. But even planting by hand, this soil it'll get packed in tight and it'll dry and be so hard around the trees that it's just not going to be good for them.
Furrow Farms is still planting trees, a task that is usually completed in March. Furrow says they have about 8,000 trees still left to plant, some by hand.
Field that we normally would machine plant, we're going to hand plant. It's going to take 4 times longer, but at least we're going to be getting trees in the ground.
Ryan Stottleman at Stottleman Farms says he's not been able to plant any spring crops because of the rain, and his crimson clover, which by now should be in full bloom, has been delayed 2 weeks.
But it's just been too wet, and we're not getting enough dry time in between. All these heads should be at least this big and nice and bright red, hopefully bigger. But as you can see, it's just starting to push the bloom because of the cold and wet weather. It's just not, it doesn't like it.
Stottleman's clover gets distributed all over the world, but with wet weather, it's cause for concern.
In the hit and miss rain, I'm starting to get concerned a little bit about quality when harvest comes. If it rains, we can't get in harvest, the seed quality will go down, or it'll sprout and won't be of any benefit to anybody.
Clovers aren't the only crop affected. Stottleman can't plant oat seed.
If I planted that today, we wouldn't be harvesting it till the end of September, and you start pushing that window where we get back in the wet season again. So it's not worth the risk.
Furrow says that if he can get his trees in within the next couple of weeks, they'll be fine. But if it ends up being a dry summer and plant late, it will reduce the survival rate. The sun is expected to make an appearance a couple of days this week and hopes to give the crops a chance to catch up. Reporting in Hillsborough, Paulina Aguilar, Fox 12 Oregon.